Good afternoon. My name is Likuyani Ali, and this is Genetics Media, the stories of Ramadan. This is episode 8 of our 10 stories of Ramadan. Remember, Genetics Media is a Mombasa based digital media company that seeks to tell stories in your own way. So, for the next a quarter or 3/4 of an hour, we'll be talking to Dr. Salma Naji, a medical doctor based in Mombasa. We want to find out the extraordinary things being done by the ordinary people in our society in their own style. Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon, I'm privileged to bring you Dr. Naji Salma. But before we do that, we're going to reintroduce the good doctor in a moment. So indeed, it is time. And remember, you can follow this conversation with the hashtag stories of Ramadan KE and hashtag telling your story. Without further ado, my guest, Dr. Salma Naji. Good afternoon, Dr. Ari, and how are you?
Good afternoon. Well,
how is Ramadan?
Amazing. I'm sad that it's almost over.
Sad? I thought you'd have said you are happy because it's his feast time and you'll be inviting me over.
You're invited, but it's sad for us. Ramadan is always an amazing time for me.
Either way, let me just take this opportunity on behalf of Genetics Media to wish each and every lady that is watching this cast this afternoon a happy Mother's Day. Dr. Salma, kindly introduce yourself and tell us something about yourself.
I'm Dr. Salma Naji, a medical doctor currently working in Malindi, in the government facility called Malindi Sub-County Hospital. I am a founder of Golden Hearts of Kenya, and also a coordinator of Kenya Invisible Kids. Kenya Invisible Kids mainly help children in Kilifi County, we started with Kilifi County, who cannot afford treatment, who come to the hospital and they can't afford basic treatment sometimes. At some point I was working in the Dab refugee camp. So me being a medical doctor, I want to believe I'm a humanitarian person, humanitarian workers together. So yeah.
I find something interesting about the foundation you mentioned, which is Golden Hearts of Kenya, because sometimes when we talk about the medical fraternity, people have imaginations of what goes on there, including how rich you people are. Is this one of the reasons you run this organization because you have too much money to spend, or is there something else that attracts you towards humanitarian support?
Honestly speaking, it's not like we have money. We depend on family and friends and well wishers for us to do our project. It's the humanitarian heart in us that made us come together and start Golden Hearts of Kenya to help the community in many aspects, in health, in education, in empowerment. Name it. We get appeals and we sit down and we vet them and we see what we can do about them. So once we verify this is a genuine test, we go out and look for funds and help the specific test.
Great. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go quickly to the comment section, see who is watching with us and what they're saying. And shortly after that, remember, we are running a crowdfunding campaign for Genetics Media in order for us to establish the state of the art studios. So you want to be part of this, please feel free to support us through the M-Pesa pay bill number, which is 961-700. The account is 32037. Again, you can send your M-Changa funds to pay bill number 961-700, account 32037. Now, let's go to the comment section, please. Yes, Kiproroda, good afternoon to you too. Thank you for watching all the way in Germany. Again, now she's tagging her friends to come to the show. Yes, yes, everybody that is there, kindly come and watch. Khalid Hassan says, Mashallah, doctor, keep doing the great work you are doing. Awesome. Mashallah, Dr. Salma is such an amazing human heart. Lots of love to you. Zaituni Guyo. Okay, fine. Thank you. For now, we're going to stop at that for the comment section so that we can really get the conversation going. Remember, you can follow this with the hashtag stories of Ramadan KE, or equally say and use the hashtag telling your story. So, Dr. before we left, you mentioned something about the foundation and what you run in Kilifi County. Can you tell us something about the Kenyans Invisible Kids, the KIC, if I call it?
Okay, Kenya Invisible Kids was there before. I think sometimes in 2017. At that time, I was not around in Malindi. I came back to work in Malindi in October 2017, and it was really difficult for me because I was working in the DAB where everything was organized, protocols and everything, until I came back here, and a patient will come and the patient can't afford anything. So Kenya Invisible Kids, it was started prior by some Italian friends who live in Italy, but they normally would come for holidays in Kenya. And so one day in January 2018, if I remember correctly, I was stranded with 4 neonates. That is less than 28 days old babies, seated there trying to figure out what to do. We were thinking they could be having heart problem, and we needed to do some investigation, but all the 4 of them, their parents could not afford. Each one needed at least 12,000 Kenya shilling for the investigation. And this is a day I realized for real prayers do get answered, because I was seated there in the department in the newborn unit and stranded, not knowing what to do, until these 4 Italians walked in and asked me one simple question. Do you have any patients who need assistance? It was like, whoa, where did these people come from? And that's how we actually became so active and started helping. We started with the 4. Eventually, we started bringing down a doctor from Mombasa for our cardiac patients, the pediatric age group, at least once a month. And it started with the cardiac and eventually went to so many other conditions. So far, since January 2018 to now, I think we've done over 150 patients that we've assisted in Malindi and Kilifi County. There's one in Mombasa, there's one in Nairobi. Actually, 2 in Nairobi. So, yeah.
Yeah, Dr. you mentioned so passionately about children. Why are you in particular interested in assisting children and not grown-ups? Why?
One, they're innocent. 2, if you do not get a condition when a person is young, complications happen. You need to find them at the beginning for you to be able to manage as fast as possible. I'll tell you of a kid who in 2019 July, I had to fly with a kid, 5 weeks old baby, all the way to Italy, Napoli, for cardiac surgery that was sponsored by Kenyan Invisible Kids. Everything was sponsored. This baby came to us when she was about 2-3 weeks old, and we realized the baby had a very major complication, heart condition that could not be sorted in Kenya. And we had two options, either to go to Europe or to go to South Africa. Actually, three: India, Europe, or South Africa. And through Kenyan Visible Kids, we managed to get a hospital in Italy that did the surgery for free for this baby. This baby, if we had not done the surgery early enough, we would have lost that baby, because just a few months prior to that case, we lost one with a similar condition. And so my passion goes to kids, the angel in this world. I'll always love them.
Well, that's deep, and I believe as we celebrate mothers today, Kenya and around the world, we want to wish you and the rest of the mothers that are doing an amazing job happy Mother's Day, because those kids you bring to this world, you give your life for them to have one. Asanteni sana kina mama. So, Doctor, we're gonna again just remind our guests that, rather our audiences, that we are running as Genetics Media an ongoing fund raise campaign to be able to raise money that will be used in building up a state-of-the-art studio. Remember, you can send in your contributions with the crowdfunding Mchanga account, which is 961-700. That is the paybill number, and the account is 32037. Remember, we are telling your story in your own way. This is Genetics Media, and my name is Likuyani Eli. This afternoon, we are talking to Dr. Salma from Golden Hearts, Kenya. She has one. And thank you so much, Dr. Ali, for making time for us. So as we continue, why is it we have to work in solving our problems and looking for our solutions outside the country? What can we do about our situation so that we improve the medical condition in our country, especially for the young generation, Doctor?
Our government really needs to work hard and improve our health facilities. We have the expertise. We do have the doctors, but we don't have the equipment in our facilities. This is not for us doctors, like to most of the time, like when doctors go on strike, people think that they're going on strike because of money. People don't, we not always go on strike because we need a bigger salary, a higher salary. What you need is equipment for our facility. I will tell you my own experience. I am just like about 10 months post, 10, 11 months post 2 spine surgeries myself. And everybody was like, you need to go do it outside. And I was like, no, we have the doctors here. You just need to be patient, and you need to see which doctors you need to go to. You just don't go to any doctor. Like you have a spine problem and you go to a specialist who is dealing with with the abdomen. How do you expect that person to help? Go to the specific person, the specific doctor, specialty that you need to go to. So, plus you will find these things in the private facility, but they're quite expensive in Kenya, going to get treatment in the private facility. I wish our government could just equip our public facilities properly with all the equipment done. 1, 2, they should sponsor more healthcare workers to go for further studies and get the expertise they need to come and treat our people here. Yeah. So 1, we need equipment. We have the people, I believe, but we don't have the equipment.
Good, Doctor. Even as we sail through these tides, which are very, very tough, especially in your field, what has been your experience during this coronavirus period, and what kind of mindset has it raised in you when addressing the kind of issues you're facing? I mean, you face as a medical practitioner.
Honestly speaking, I would say the experience is not good. It wasn't an easy one, and it's still not an easy one. Like in our facility, mostly I'm the one dealing with the COVID patient. Any person who comes either suspected or confirmed, I have to sort check on the patient, decide on the way forward for this patient, and it's not an easy. We don't have enough staff, so at times you do double shifts. Sometimes you go a week without resting. Not a good experience because it reaches a time you look like a zombie walking around the facility, literally. In where I work currently, we were not hit so much with the first wave in Kenya. Actually, when the third wave started, actually the second wave started is when we were having the first wave in our cases. We've lost so many friends, so many patients, so many relatives. It reaches a point you start getting depression, seeing people dying at tables and but alhamdulillah, things are a bit better currently, even the numbers. So we're just hoping for everything to get better.
But where do you get the inspiration from? And I know you've mentioned about the golden hearts, and you have one big golden heart. But with all this that is coming and weighing you down, you just had an operation from the surgery, and you are here fighting coronavirus and trying to help patients to resume their normal lives. And then you hear stories of new strands or mutations coming into the country. How do you figure? How do you put your mind into it, Dr.
The thing is, if we don't set our minds and work for these patients, we are the expertise. We are the experts. If yes, it reaches a point you get depression, but then you just sit and think, if I don't go to work, if I don't handle, what if this patient was my relative? How would I want this patient to be treated? So you just get up and go to work and try as much as possible. You protect yourself and as you treat the patient.
Talking of protection, we want to discuss more about that as we move forward. And remember, you are watching the stories of Ramadan. This is the 8th episode of the 10 of them. Do join this cast every single time you see them online, because they are amazing stories of amazing people who are ordinary but doing extraordinary things. The hashtag, of course, is Stories of Ramadan, KE. And you can equally use the hashtag your stories, telling your story. That's hashtag telling your story, courtesy of Genetics Media. Genetics Media is a digital media station, rather media platform based in Mombasa, and we are currently running a campaign to help us build more and give you more authentic stories. Remember, you can be able to contribute to this noble contribution through Pay bill 961-700, account number 32037. This cast is really for the sake of telling your story. Think about the Golden Heart. Think about the Sisters of Love. This is where it all begins at Genetics Media. And right now, I'm still with Dr. Salma. Let's go to the comment section, see who is saying what. Mwangangi Johnson says, wow, strong, Dr. Salma. I like your faith in our own doctors. It is good in fighting the inferiority complex we have instilled in our own institutions. Thumbs up, Dr. Ari. Kipro says, let us support these kids. They are angels sent from God. Yes, I subscribe to that feeling. And of course, Gilbert Were, our very own team member, says, Dr. Salma is an amazing one. And yes, I do agree to that. Watching from Nairobi, Faisal Kasim, thank you so much for tuning in and being part of the conversation. Grace Olela says, wow, it is good that your passion goes to kids. and I refer to them as children, especially today as we celebrate Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you, Daktari. Amazing, amazing. That is from Kipro Roda and every other person that is watching the cast. We continue with the conversation. And Daktari, I want to take you back to Dada. I believe you had a lot of experiences down there and you came to be cognizant of what happens in our daily lives, especially when there is no one to provide. Tell me the most touching story that you experienced at Dada refugee camp.
Uh, the most touching was during my first or second week in Dadaab. We got a mother who had teen pregnancy. She needed a cesarean section, an emergency cesarean section, which was done. Unfortunately, the mother had bled a lot at home before coming to the hospital, and despite everything we did, she went into renal failure, and we needed to refer her to Nairobi, where she could get dialysis and consultants to be there for her and manage her, but the family refused. Eventually, after 3 weeks of struggling, they agreed to let her go, and she went with her two babies and the husband to Nairobi. Unfortunately, upon reaching Nairobi, not more than an hour later, the mother passed on. The babies and father were sent back to Dadaab by UNHCR, and the babies were handed over to their paternal aunts, and will be coming to the hospital every week. We monitor how they're doing, and we give them formula milk, everything, not knowing whoever was the guardian was not using the milk for the babies, and she would give water and sugar. 3 weeks after losing their mother, one of the twins passed. We were left with one. We had to stay with this baby in the hospital for close to 3 months, feeding him, bathing him. Literally, we became the guardian of this baby. We became his caretaker till when we were sure whoever we're handing over the baby to will take care of him is when we let him go. But with extremely close monitoring. If they miss one appointment, we would send somebody down to their place to take the babies. It was really difficult. It was a really difficult time. It was a really emotional time for everybody. But the good thing is it was a success story eventually because that baby made it. And
Wow, that's deep. I almost shed a tear for that, but I have to be the man, right? Just have to be the man in this conversation and try to be strong for you and all these medical practitioners that are doing an amazing job as we tell the stories of Ramadan, which we celebrate Muslim individuals and groups, including NGOs and partners who are contributing to the community in different ways during this Ramadan period. And of course, most recently in that period of COVID-19. Of course, Daktari, that is a very touching story. So there you are, you have experienced the DAB, and there's been a lot of noise about the closing down of these camps. As an individual, not as a practitioner, but since you have been there as an individual, do you think it's a good idea to close them down?
not really. Where will these people go? Because I was there and I could see 10 people leave to go back to their home country, 20 come in. You know, the camp I used to be in was closed down, and all the refugees that were left were taken to another camp. That is, it's called A4. That's where they currently are staying. But closing down the place is not something easy. There are over 200, 300,000 refugees. Where are you going to take them? That's one. Two, is it safe for these people to go back to their home country? Because currently, what I understand is the refugees left in Dadaab are only Somalis. All the other nationalities were taken to Kakuma refugee camp. So is Somali safe enough for these refugees to go back home? What will happen to the children? Sometimes the parents will only come down to Kenya to be a refugee, not because they want to be a refugee, but they're looking for better life for their kids, especially when it comes to education, health. So closing down is not a good thing at all.
Yourself, you are an offspring that came by with parents that came in as, immigrants. So, and you're doing an amazing job in Kenya, specifically in the Kilifi County. What is your message to everybody that looks us, to foreigners that come to their country and they say, yeah, you do not belong here? What is your message to those kind of people?
Uh, I think everybody should be welcoming. My grandparents came to Kenya in, I think, about 1900, 1901, somewhere there. And they were welcomed. They resided in a place called Mambrui. It's a small village a few kilometers from Malindi, where I am right now. And Alhamdulillah, they were welcomed so well. So seeing people in other countries doesn't mean, especially I'm taking it into, like, if you're an African or a Muslim and you go to Europe and these places, most of the time they take you as a terrorist or not a good person. That's not really the reason why people immigrate from one place to another. People immigrate because maybe most of the time they're looking for better life for themselves and their offspring, the kids, the family. So I think we should be welcoming, we should be open-minded to everybody who comes into our country.
Okay, you heard it from the good doctor. As we continue with the conversation, this is the stories of Ramadan, the 8th episode of the 10. Remember, you can follow this with the hashtag stories of Ramadan, KE hashtag telling your story. And this is courtesy of Gelitix Media. Gelitix Media is a digital company, rather digital media company based in Mombasa. And we are telling your story. We are currently running a campaign to help us raise funds to build a state-of-the-art studio. Remember, you can be part of this contribution and crowdfunding by sending your contributions to pay bill number 961-700. The account is 32037. That is, again, pay bill number 961-700, account 32037. We're going to take a short break for you that has just joined us to be able to know what Dr. Salma and her team are doing. And I see some questions coming in on how they can be able to join. Probably she'll tell us more about that. But before we do that, let's take a break and see what this good doctor has been doing over the years. Yes, welcome back. We are back. And for those who are joining us, my name is Likuyani Eli. You can follow me with the handle, The Arts in Heart on Facebook, The Arts in Heart official on YouTube, equally TikTok, Likuyani Eli, and on Instagram, Likuyani Eli. So we are talking to Dr. Salma. Before we took the break, she had told us so much stuff that you need to listen to. In case you missed out, you can always head back to the cast after this live cast and be able to find out what she said. Currently, we are at 81,500 Kenyan shillings. Our target still remains. So, do your thing, guys. Get there. Take your mobile phones. Do what you do best. And send us some kwacha kwacha. Send us some money because you want to hear good stories. We need to invest in them. And your help will come through in a big way. Pay bill number 961,700, account 32037. The company is Gelitix Media. Do your thing. Na ngoja nione message ya kwanza itatoka kwa nani before we leave the cast. As we do that, we're going to head to the comment section, find out how you can be part of the conversation. So my director say we have some comments there. We start with Parvin Babel. I hope I read your your name correctly. Say, Mashallah, Dr. Salma is a guardian angel to many. May Allah safeguard her from all evil. Thank you so much, Babel. Abdul Ismail says, Dr. Salma Naji Al Mashar. I will stop at Dr. Salma Naji, okay? Okay, Abdul, I read it. Good. Dr. Salma Naji, may Allah grant you the desire of your heart. You are a beacon of hope to many. Remember, baby Howard, the Dab refugee camp, I celebrate you. Thank you so much, Abdul, for that message. That means you've been watching what this good doctor is doing. Mugabe Were is asking you, Daktari, how can I join the group? I have a passion for the community too. So you know what? She'll be telling us how you can be part of this big conversation. Continuing down there, we have Rhoda says, your 10 shillings will go a long way. Sacrifice that cigarette packet for one day. Alcohol, etc. Together we can help these wonderful children. Yes, it doesn't cost you so much. Just 1 shilling a day can help a lot of children. Let's see, Johnson Wangangi. Wow, it is good how you have maximized on the active Italian community in Malindi to help your cause. And that's why I want to ask Daktari, who are the partners you work with? And what effect have they brought in the course you're running?
Okay. One. Let me start with Kenyan Visible Kids. Kenyan Visible Kids. My partners are Italian, based in Italy. So whenever we have a desperate case, Kenyan Visible Kids is actually an NGO, but it's originally from Italy. Its headquarters is there. And I run it in here in Kenya. So whenever we have a desperate case, I will talk to one of the founders and tell them this case that needs this amount of money for us to manage the case. And they will send me the money immediately. At first, they used to send me on need basis, but currently we open an account in Kenya, which I run. And whenever we have a case, I inform them and tell them we have this case. It's a desperate case. I have vetted the case, and we need to pay for this. And yeah, we go ahead and pay. As I told you earlier about the baby that went to Italy. So this baby was fully sponsored, stayed in Italy for 3 months, and to this day we still sponsor that baby. I think she should be turning 2 years this May 25th.
May 25th?
Sorry?
Did you say May 25th by any chance, or did my ears play some? Okay,
yes,
let me just check my calendar so that I can be able to tell what I'm doing on the May 25th, because I like free food and party. It's a Monday. Okay, fine. Why don't we do it on a Sunday or Saturday? It's okay.
So yeah, then there is the Golden Hearts of Kenya. My partners is any well-wisher who is ready. Like currently we are relocating, in the process of relocating a family of 9 that lives in the bush in the middle of nowhere. I got to see this family about 2 weeks ago when I went to do food distribution in a place called Chakama. It's a village in Kilifi County. And
wait, Dr. You said there's a family living in a bush. You know, every time I meet my friends here in Belgium, they tell me, some of them that have not really traveled, they imagine we live in trees in Africa, down in Kenya. Is this exactly what you're talking about, or are you fantasizing on the statements? Because I want you to really
No,
make my
they
audience understand
literally
what you're talking
live in
about.
the they literally live in the bush.
And
Literally.
they are not Hoi Hoi and Sons, right?
We had to walk 2.2 kilometers to reach this family. We were told about the family, so we're like, we want to see. And maybe later, if I could share the photos of this family where they live, it's just something that is unbelievable. So currently, hopefully by end of this coming week, by end of this week, Friday, Saturday, there we should be starting. We already bought a piece of land through fundraising for them, somewhere near the community, somewhere near school, where the kids can go to school. All this was through fundraising, and we've managed to raise about 500,000 Kenya shillings, and which we're going to use to build for them a 3-bedroom house and relocate them
Wow.
from the bush to this place that is near the
Wow.
community. So
Uh,
Golden Hearts of Kenya just depends on well wishers. My partners are friends and family mostly.
I must tell you, I envy you because you have awesome friends. If your friends have the heart to relocate a family that was so living in deplorable conditions and make them actually have a normal life like any other human being that deserves a decent life, chapeau. Well done, Daktari. Well done. So, how then do people get to reach you, Daktari, if they want to send in their contributions and they want to be able to be part and parcel of the good job you're doing?
They can contact me on my phone number plus
Yeah.
254 705 500 763.
I think my directors will be able to note that down so that they can flash it on the screen. You can repeat the number for those who missed it out. Plus 254.
705 500 763.
763. And who should they ask for when they call that number?
Sorry.
You know, sometimes you doctors, you have so many extensions. We call and then they tell you, okay, your call is on waiting list number 52.
That's my personal number. If they
Mhm,
can't reach me, they can always drop a message or WhatsApp.
mhm.
And once I have the time, once I see the messages, I would respond.
So let's get this right. That is plus 254
705
705.
500
Mhm.
763.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the contact for Daktari. You want to reach out to her and be part of the good job she is doing with the Golden Hearts of Kenya. That is her contact. Reach out to her. And I believe she's equally available on social media as Dr. Salma Naji, right? That is Salma Naji. The doctor she removes from that part so that you can get to know the person. So reach out to her. Let's see what you can be able to do with her and be part of the big job that she's doing. So Mugabe Were, you know how to reach out to Daktari and how you can be part and parcel of the good work she's doing with her team. Let's see who else is saying what in the comment section. So far, so good. We are doing well. People are listening in and people are amazed by the good job you're doing. Kipro says, and there comes the good news. Congratulations to all of you. And that is the news of the building of the new homestead that you are doing for this family that you want to relocate. Abdallah says, Kazi nzuri sana daktari. Thank you so much, Abdallah, and everybody that has been sending in their messages of encouragement. Remember, you can reach out to Daktari with the contact plus 254 705 500 763. In the meanwhile, remember, this is the stories of Ramadan. And in the stories of Ramadan, we are celebrating Muslim individuals, groups, NGOs, and partners who are contributing to the community in different ways. So are you doing an amazing job in an amazing way? And you would love for us to tell your story? You can always reach to us with all social media handles, Gelitix Media. Simple as that. We are on Twitter, Facebook. We are equally on YouTube and Instagram. As we close down, Dr. what is your plea to the society at large?
Well, if you can help, help. We say doing charity does not decrease your wealth, but increase your wealth. So if you can help in any way, help where you can. 10 shillings, 20, 50, 100. Buy a packet of flour, buy a kilo of sugar. Give a person your smile. It's enough. You don't know what that smile can change the in what. Yeah.
If you can help, do help, because it doesn't matter what you do, how you do it. When you put a smile on an individual, you add them one more reason to be happy. And we are a happy family. We have had a great conversation. And I believe for those who missed out, you can always hit the replay back button after the live cast. Remember to subscribe, follow, share, and like the page. That is Gelitix Media on Facebook. On Instagram, it's Gelitix Media. Equally follow us on Twitter. You can equally reach out to Dr. Salma on Facebook and with the contact that we gave earlier on for you to be able to know how you can help out with what she is doing. She'll give you the details on how and where you can reach out to them. And for all those partners that have continued to celebrate and actually stand with Golden Hearts Kenya, thank you very much for changing the lives of the people we care about. Thank you so much. My name is Likuyani Eli. Follow me on Facebook at The Arts in Heart. You can equally reach me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, Likuyani Eli. And the conversation continues. See you next time as we continue celebrating and telling the stories of Ramadan. For this and many more stories, be sure to join Gelitix Media. And the story number 9 coming on, it'll be from Muhammad Noor, that is Swahili Port Hub, being hosted with Solomon Zulu, very own Gelitix Media host. Okay, so stay tuned. Till next time, I leave you with one more from Dr.